now. Hey, what's up, everybody? I got another client spotlight today. Barbara Delgado, who honestly, a year ago when I really started, well, more like a little over a year ago in October last year, is when I really started coaching. And I got pictures from her. If any of y'all saw my pictures, I've been seeing my pictures. She's the wizard. She's the magician that makes me look so amazing. And last year, I got some headshots with her. We just clicked, and she actually became my first client. And so, Barbara, welcome. Thank you for doing this with me. And give me a sense of like, when we started, like, what did you want to gain from the experience with me?
Wow, that's a tough one. So, I think overall it was I was having some, I would say I would wanted a little bit more self-love. I wanted to start manifesting. I knew what I wanted. I just didn't really know how to get it. You know what I mean? And how to bring it to life. And I just felt like when you were talking to me, the initial time you came in for your headshots, it was just like, this is what I want. Like, I didn't even know, I don't know how to describe it, but I knew it's what I needed and what I
Amazing. I look back at that and I'm still blown away, how that all just happened. And one of the coolest things, when we started, we worked for kind of a short time, but when we started, there was, or during that first period, there was this really significant time where you were going to some event in Tennessee for your photography business, and some other things transpired. So why don't you get into a little bit of that?
Yeah, it was really funny because everything just started kind of aligning and happening and flowing, and it was just like one thing after another. That particular time is we had to go to Tennessee for Imaging USA, which is a huge photography conference. I had just gotten a new vendor, Musea, who does museum quality frames and prints, and it turns out that they were going to have their meet and greet a day before the convention started, and they had talked to me about wanting to be for me to be an ambassador for their company, and it just so happens that I was actually going to be there on the day that they're having a meet and greet, which is insane because otherwise I would have never been able to meet them in person. And um and it just kind of, not only that, but a lot of things just started happening like that, to where it just started happening, flowing, and things that I wanted started happening. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah,
little.
yeah, no, I mean, I love that, and it's just cool because every time I work with clients, and we're really just kind of shifting perspectives and learning how to, think the best to love yourself, to be in connection with others, and just to perceive life differently instead of always judging everything. And this is kind of the result of that, right? Things just start like happening, and you didn't really plan them, you didn't make them happen. It just worked out the way it did, right? Um, and then so now, we decided back in July, right? Where I think we did a 3-month program, and and you came to me and were like, you wanted to get more into self-love, you wanted to connect more with your significant other, and your family and all of that. And one of the main things on the first day, I was like, we create a vision, right, on what we want to experience. And one of the biggest things you said was like, I want to be engaged. Right? You were like, I want to be engaged. And what happened after that first appointment?
So 2 days later, I was engaged. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It just happened, and it was just so crazy because I remember writing it down, and then literally 2 days later, I was engaged, and it was it was awesome. It was fantastic, and I think uh, those are the kind of examples that you and I talk about all the time. That we talk about it, we visualize it, we just, and then we let it go, and then it happens. you know and actually, funny story is that day that we talked about it, I said, I'm gonna let it go though. I'm not even going to worry about it. Whenever it happens, it happens, because that had been an issue. And I
Hmm.
remember it was like, we talked about it because it had been an issue. And I said, but you know what, as of this point, I just kind of want to let it go. And whenever it happens, it'll happen. And then 2 days later, I got engaged.
This makes me like light up because it's just so cool because I never really know when or how things are going to happen. I just kind of know how to get into a certain state, and it really is that letting go and getting out of the way, and then things just kind of happen.
Yeah.
Um, and so like moving forward, we came across like self-love issues and certain things that you were judging yourself about, and we kind of related it to some of your childhood and your upbringing, and that whole process started opening up like more connection with your parents and your family. And what's what is the result now after this work we've done as far as your connection with your family?
Yeah. Well, actually, my relationships in general have all improved like greatly since we started. And I think it's mostly because of my mentality, my perspective on life. And a lot of times we all have, nothing is perfect, and I feel like we all have issues and we all have problems. And it's just, I think what you've taught me is to really be able to deal with the issues and deal with the problems in a much, 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 much better way.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that it has improved all my relationships, with my parents, with my family, even at work, so it's really helped out.
Yeah, and now you're married, right? Like within these 3 months, you got engaged, you're married, and your business has up leveled, right? Like what is this whole like? I mean, I like to tell people that when they work with me, they're on the fast track. Like this is like things are gonna happen. And would you relate to would you call it the fast track? Was that your experience?
1000%. Like, yeah, it's just things started happening. My business has grown exponentially since we started. Not just, I'm now, not only have I been engaged, but now I'm married. I feel like just everything has been just very quickly evolving. And including myself. I've very quickly just each day, I did that post about you the other day, and I think that's the best way to describe it, is I'm just evolving every day. And even if it's a little bit, it just, it makes my life so much better, easier. I'm able to cope with things so much better than I used to be.
Yeah, and I don't focus so much on like what the outcome is going to be, or like where we're trying to go specifically, but it's more specific on like the tools you can use in all these different situations. And I like to like I try to make them as practical as possible. And so we're just kind of finishing up in our program, um and so like these tools, like how you've been able to implement them, and they're kind of like automatic now. Like how do you feel about your use of them?
Very much so. It's funny, I had a conversation with my mom because every time after you and I had a session, I feel like I would talk to my mom, and then her and I would kind of discuss what you and I, like what I learned in my session today. And she was like, I don't want you to stop, seems like ever. And that's the funny part, is that I told her, I was like, well, it's not about that. I feel like he's given me a lot of tools to work with, to where I'm having a bad day or a bad morning. And I realized that I spend a lot less time in those bad feelings and that bad state of mind, or in that negative state of mind. I'm able to get out of it a lot more quickly with the tools and with the meditations and with all the stuff that you've really helped me gain knowledge in.
Hmm. Cool. So if somebody's watching this right now and they're like, like maybe I need this, like maybe this could help me, what would you tell them?
I would say one. I think everybody needs this. And I think it's just about healing yourself and healing, and like, so we all have these habits we want to break, and these things that we do that we don't necessarily love about ourselves. And healing yourself will help everyone around you, not just yourself. I feel like my relationship with my now husband is, wow, it's awesome. Our communication is amazing. I think the same goes with my relationship with my family. And I feel like, you know, we're starting to plan on having children. And I feel like what I've learned is just gonna help generations to come, you know, and the stuff that I've taken from our sessions have just been amazing.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you so much just because of the way, I mean, we've become such good friends too throughout
Yeah.
this process, and you being my first client, and how just everything has transpired has been, I don't know, it blows my mind, and it just makes me love what I do more and more and more every single day. And um, so yeah, so thank you for everything. As far
Well,
as
honestly, thank you.
yeah. So really cool to see, like, what comes, forward from this. And, I pretty much have no doubt we'll probably work with together again when, things even blow up even more. And, we'll see how life takes us. And so thanks for doing this with me. Thanks for having
Very
this conversation
much.
with
Thank
me.
you for everything.
Oh yeah. And everyone watching, if you're interested in learning more, you can DM me, you can go to my website behererightnow.com and schedule a free session, and we can get into what you want to get into. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, and till next time.